Hello friends, I'm Brian, and this is Gizmo Board Games. Today, it is the beginning of a new month, so I am doing my look back at what I released and what I played that was new to me and I really enjoyed, well, or didn't, maybe even some cases, but everything I played last month, June 2023, as well as the videos I released in that month in case you missed them. So first of all, I want to start off by saying welcome to any new subscribers. Thanks for coming, and I appreciate you being here. That said, I'm going to go ahead and start off by talking about what videos I released last month that you may have missed and might want to go check out. First off, I did the look back at everything I released and played that was new to me in May. And just like every other beginning of the month, that was the first video of June. And then I did a little bit of a self-discussion on why reviewers are so positive and my thoughts on why, mostly board game reviewers, but really in general, any reviewers, why they put out positive content way more often than negative content, even though negativity seems to get more views. So I kind of did my thoughts in that video if you want to check that out. And then I did one of my short eating after midnight videos, contemplating why I have so many dice and why we gamers have so many dice, even though most of the dice we need for the games we play are included in the games themselves. We still, at least speaking for myself, have bags and bags of dice that we probably don't touch all that often. And then I did my top 9 favorite component upgrades for board games, things I like to just kind of add to enhance my experience with board games or just to make them better in general. Then I covered Ticket to Ride in a review, look back at the old classic and my thoughts on it with a little bit of a how to play to start it off, just like most of my review videos do. And then finally, just this past week, I released a little vlog of mine and my daughter's trip to Trips Drill, amusement park and theme park, because I like to get outside occasionally and play in real life. And my form of enjoyment for playing in real life is going to amusement parks, riding roller coasters. I've been a coaster enthusiast most of my life, and my daughter is starting to follow along my footsteps. And so we went and checked out Germany's oldest theme park and rode almost everything in the park, but we did get all 6 coaster credits, for those of you who know what that means. So we did that. We went there for about a day and a half. It also has a nature park, so if you're more interested in nature things than amusement things, you can skip ahead about half the video. The second half shows a little bit of the nature park and the animals we saw while we were there. And those are the 6 videos I released in June. And this will be the first video of July. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video. What I played in June 2023. First off, I played 38 individual times, 38 total games played. 24 of them were unique games, different games. A lot of them are going to be repeats, games I've played before and I enjoy and got back to the table, whatever the case is. 24 different games, 6 of them were new to me, and those are the 6 games I'll cover moving forward with the rest of this video in the order I enjoyed them. But before we get to that little countdown of the new to me games I played in June, I want to go ahead and give an honorable mention to a game I got to the table for the first time in a while. Me and my daughter played, and I really like these small yellow games. The what are they called? They're the Tail and the games from Yellow. Hopefully this is all right focused. The one we played this month, there are 5 or 6 of them. I own 5 of them. I don't know how many more of them there might be, but they cover like fables and fairy tales and things, and they're really good, lightweight for young kid family style games. It says what ages 7 and up. I think we were playing these at 4 and 5, though they might not have the best strategy for those age groups, but they are good for introducing board games to the family. We played this one where you're choosing how many treasure cards you want to try to get from each of the bronze, silver, and gold treasure stacks. And you're trying not to run into scorpions along the way. It's a little bit of push your luck and not being greedy, because everybody's going to secretly bid on 2 treasures to go after. And whoever bids the least gets to go after the treasure of that collection of treasures, whether it's being bronze, silver, or gold. So you want more treasures, yes, but if you bid more than somebody else for that same treasure trove, then that person's going to get the lesser amount of treasures and you'll get nothing. So it's a fun, good introduction game. Haven't played in a while. Got this out with my daughter again recently and enjoyed it. So that was just a little honorable mention of a game I played before, but hadn't been a while, and brought it back to the table. All right, now let's look at my top 6 new to me games from June. First off, these are in order of my preference in a play or 2 plays, maybe 3 plays. I don't think any of these got more than 3 plays this month. So just for my initial impressions, how I felt about them, and least favorite to favorite order. I will say overall, this was a lesser month for enjoyment. None of these games super stood out, and probably would all fall in the mid to lower tier from any of the previous new to me games in the month, but they're all still enjoyable in their own right. So I'll go ahead and start off with my number 6. It's Twisted Fate, Cowboys and Aliens. It's a play now game. They mostly start off on the sports line. I've covered them last year in a spotlight video. I've got this one recently and played it. It's a single player only game where you've got aliens coming and attacking a western city, and you're sending out the Cowboys to try to fight them off in the vein of the Cowboys versus Aliens movie. And you're just kind of playing cards out, or your cowboy cards. You're giving them items and upgrades that they can use to fight off the aliens. You're going to take your player actions. The aliens are going to take recount actions. That's not the word I want, but the aliens are going to take their own actions, and they're going to try to advance closer to the city or just kill off your cowboys. If you can defeat 3 of the, I think there's 10 or so different individual aliens with each varying power levels. If you can defeat 3 of them in a row before they advance on the town or kill off all your cowboys, then you win. So it's an all right game. I enjoyed it. Not a whole lot of strategy to it in the end, I found. It's mostly just laying out whatever cowboys you happen to have available to you. You can put them in rest mode where they can't get injured, but they also can't attack in that mode, so you don't get their attack dice. And it really comes down to, it's just a luck of the dice kind of game. I played a few times, and I lost very badly each time because there's no dice mitigation, and if you can't get your hits in on your turn, the alien gets the result of those die roll, which means on the alien's turn and on the cowboy's turn, if you don't roll well, then they're gonna come and get you. And I, like every other dice rolling luck game, I'm terrible at it for no fault of my own, just the roll of the dice, and I did not even come close to beating 1 alien, much less the 3 in a row required. And so that's why it kind of falls at number 6. Just too much dice luck for my enjoyment. But it was it's a good little kill time by yourself kind of game. It didn't play in, 5 to 10 minutes? Well, because I lost real quickly. Maybe if you're playing all 3 aliens, it's a 20 to 30 minute game, would be my guess. So not bad, not great. My number 6 new to me game this month. Number 5 new to me game this month is only at number 5 because I liked it, but I like its predecessors, and it's the same game as its predecessors. It's Naturopolis from Button Shy Games. It's Sprawlopolis with nature. They've already done Agropolis, which is Sprawlopolis with farmland. This is Sprawlopolis with nature. I do like the fact that you're dealing with both roads and river paths in this game. So it gives you 2 things that have to connect, and you're building kind of lake areas. And just like Sprawlopolis, if you're unfamiliar, basically you're just laying out these cards, which have a grid of 2 by 2 zones, and you lay them out, and you're collecting points dependent on the 3, the backside of them. I don't know how well this is showing up because it's not going to focus, but basically you're going to get the points if, based on what the requirements are for each card, and you're going to lay out all 18 cards, making your little city or Naturopolis in this case. It's fun. I enjoy these games. They supposedly play 1 to 4. I wouldn't play it anything other than solo at this point. Again, another little filler that you can play on a small table. It doesn't usually spread out too much. enjoyable. But again, this is the same game, again, with a little bit variation from Sporopolis. So a little bit of a hit for being basically just another version of the same game. But I still enjoy the game and gladly will play it. But it's number 5 because it's basically the same game. My number 4 is a solo trick-taking game. It's for Northwood. It's falling out. Hopefully this is showing up okay. For Northwood is a solo trick-taking game. I love trick-taking games. I grew up playing them. Spades, hearts, euchre. I'm sure I'm forgetting some. I like trick-taking games. I like the concept of them. I like the thoughtfulness of them. So I was always intrigued by a solo version of it. I heard good things about this. And I ended up being slightly disappointed. It's a fun game. It works for what it is, in that you're laying out these little critters in a row and you're trying to appease them. And they each want you to win a varying number of tricks. And then you win their favor if you win that exact number of tricks in a turn before your hand runs out, whether it's 0 tricks or 7 tricks. I think you get a hand of 10 cards or so. I don't remember it quite offhand. And then whatever's left in the deck, you're flipping over, and that's the trick you got to win. It's basically 1 versus 1 trick taking. And the thing I like about trick taking games is almost every trick-taking game I know, every card is in play. So you can math it out. You can logic it out. You know what could be coming. You know what has to be played based on what's been played. And this one didn't have that because you're leaving a handful of the deck behind. I don't know if it's half the deck, but roughly half the deck is never going to be played in a round, which means you can't logic out the tricks. So it comes down to kind of dice luck, card luck, and not a normal trick-taking logic puzzle to figure out. And so that's where my disappointment comes in. There are some things you can do. Each of the face cards have their own unique abilities that you can utilize in each round and help manipulate things to help you out. But in the end, if it's a trick-taking game, I should be able to logic out how many tricks I can reasonably take and know what's still available based on what's been played. And that's not the case because you're leaving half the deck behind that you wouldn't do in a normal trick-taking game. And so that's why I love the concept of it, and I enjoy it enough to play it some more, but it's not really a trick-taking game in the way I like trick-taking games. And so, yes, it's fun. It kind of fits the need of a trick-taking solo game, but I would rather play a normal trick-taking game than this, I think. And so that's why it's just kind of here in the middle. It's fun. I'll use it. I'll pass the time. It does feel kind of like a trick-taking game, but not in the way I enjoy trick-taking games. And that's why it's just number 4 and kind of was disappointment for me in the end. My number 3 is not something I have in front of me. It's one of my buddies' games I played. It's a second version of a game I really enjoy, cooperative game. This one's called Terra 2. I have Terra. We play Terra a lot. You're going through and pulling out tiles and going through caverns to try to find the exit before you get taken by the bad things. Terra 2 is mostly that, except it's not a cavern. You're playing in a temple, and you've got to fill in a specific square. You can't go outside the lines like you can in Terra, where you can sprawl wherever. In Terra 2, it's more restricted, but the bad things are going to happen after everybody's turn at the end of the round. It is similar enough and different enough that it's its own game, and it's enjoyable in its own right. I like Terra. I like Terra 2, and that it feels different enough, but similar enough that it feels like Terra with a twist. So I appreciated it. I enjoyed it, and it's right here at number 3 for new to me games of the month because it's just kind of like Naturopolis. It didn't feel wholly like I was playing a completely new game, but it felt new enough that it was fun. It adds variety. I don't know that I'd get it because I own Terra, but if I were to sell Terra and get Terra 2, I think it might be a slight improvement. If nothing else, my original version of Terra is still the dark mode where it's hard to make out the lines and stuff. I know they fixed that, I think, in future releases, and Terra 2 definitely is way more easily to read the board. I like the changes. I enjoyed the play, or plays. I think I played it 2 or 3 times. And yeah, it was a good game, good fun, good upgrade on an old favorite. Terra 2 was my number 3 new to me game in June. Yeah. My number 2 new to me game from June is another solo only game, Maquis. It's a game where you're going around France City during the Nazi era. You're a spy trying to basically turn the tide of, the oppressors coming to the city. So you're going around and trying to get clues to help get them out. I only played this one once or twice. Again, it's a solo only game. It's a bit of a worker placement, resource generator, but you got to watch out for the guards. So you take an action, and the guards will take a spot, and then you take a spot, and the guards take a spot. And if they block you off from getting back, then you lose that spy. And you're trying to meet the 2 or 3, I think it's just 2 goals for each game. And they're varied, a little campaignish, or just random, depending on how you want to play it out. Varying levels of difficulty. I played it. The introductory one, I won pretty easily. And then the second one, I did not win pretty easily. And yeah, I had fun. I enjoyed it. It's a good, get a bit of thinky, logicking, a little bit of luck based on kind of where the bad guys place, but you can kind of make your own luck too in a way, and you're just trying to generate resources and get the goals accomplished before you run out of time or run out of spies helping you. I enjoy it. It's good. Yeah, heard lots of good things, and I enjoyed it. It was fun. Good little solo game. I like it. Glad to have played it. And my favorite new to me game from June of 2023 is First Rat. I like this one. It's cute. Yeah, a little bit of, not necessarily a rondel, but you're working your way just kind of down the track, moving your rats, trying to get them to the spaceship where they can try to go to the cheese moon. Along the way, you're helping pick up items to build the spaceship that's going to send you there. You're earning cheese, which you use as currency to buy things that will help you out along the way. You're moving along just various tracks. There's, I think, 7 or 8 different tracks you're trying to just move up to get your points. And then you're trying to race potentially to be on the spaceship track, but you don't necessarily need to do that to win. But you can send up to 4 rats to space. Or you can just help pilfer the junkyard for items to help send other rats to space. Yeah, it's a nice little easy fun game where you're moving 1 rat up to 5 spaces, or all your rats 1 to 3 spaces each, but they have to finish on the same type of space, and for every one that you moved, you get to collect more and more items. So you want to move multiple rats, probably because you're going to get more items collected that way. But if you're trying to race to space, maybe you just want to move 1 at a time, a bunch of spaces, and just do that race. I enjoyed this one. My family enjoyed it. It plays quick and easy, and just easy, fun, good family weight game that doesn't take too long to play. And that's why it was my number 1 favorite new to me game from June. And I look forward to playing it again. Even though none of these games I played this month are games that are up my alley traditionally. I usually play heavier Euros, and this month was tailored more towards the solo plays. I played a lot of solo games and then some of the family weight games. So it was a good month to play with family, if not a great month for my style of game being the heavy Euro, but that's fine because I like playing games. I'm glad to get my family and friends to the table playing what they want to play more than playing what I want to play necessarily. So that said, I hope you liked this video. I hope you had a good month of gaming. Let me know in the comments below what you played in June, what new games you enjoyed recently, and anything you think might interest me in the future to check out based on what I kind of ranked these games as. Leave a comment below. subscribe if you haven't already, thumbs up if you like this video, and I will see you next time. Bye.